Good morning. So it's going to be a warm one today, but of course in the mornings it always starts out a little chilly, which is fine. Then I get to work and then the sun gets brighter. So as you can see, we kind of face east with the back of the house. Yes, we get sun all day. This gets closed in a little bit more. So sometimes when you're doing the building with the ICF, you choose where your common seams are. I've talked about those before. Basically, you have your certain lengths, and as you're stacking, you want the seams, I call it the infinity symbol, but where these are and where it says nudura, that's where there's the webbing inside, so where you can screw sheetrock to, or hang TVs or whatever you end up needing to do, or like in this case, if there was exterior siding or whatever, your corners are a fixed spot, right? I mean, corners. So you end up with some sort of area where it's not an exact count of the length of the block. So you do what's called a common seam. In fact, I need to get in there. I've got the strapping on the other side. I need to do the strapping on this side too. I did all that to say I chose to keep the corner pretty strong and just stack up this one, because that's where the pre-buck will start for this walkout door. So there's a door that goes here, but it's not this wide. I've got to determine exactly where I want to put it, but we were kind of figuring some stuff out. If I exactly center it, it's going to give me like a little weird piece on the side, which I could do. But if I want to move it over 3 inches, then it'll be perfectly on the seam, and I'll just stack another set of blocks up there. So one of the two. This ends up being a 43-inch wide door. So we got that to figure out. These doors, like I said, I've already cut the center so these are each 12-foot doors. That's that accordion kind of open all the way, so you can do a full opening on those. And there's no, nope. See, this is what happens. I get out here and I put my head down and I just go sometimes. And I was like, oh, there's nothing there. There is a window there, dummy. That's okay. All right. As long as I caught it before we put concrete in. There's actually a pass-through window here because there's a kitchenette on the other side. So there's going to be like a little shelf kind of deal there, and you can open it up and pass food through and that kind of stuff. So yeah. Yay, that was my fault. Genius. This radius, I did a few markings just to double check we were right, and we're spot on, which is great. It starts here and winds to that one. This one isn't too tight of a radius, so it's not going to be quite as bad with relief cuts and things. So yeah. What else? And that's all pretty much stacked up. We got a little bit in that deal to finish. And then this wall does not have any windows, so I'm good there. So I may actually start over here and stack that one the rest of the way up. Go ahead and strap that. We got the hallway, and about how that figured out. It doesn't go all the way up because you have to drive over that area. So we've been kind of talking and messing with what we're going to do there. Of course, we've got this little section stacked. Then we've got that curve to do, which is a really tight radius. That's going to be interesting. And this one's pretty much done. So, and then I've got all the pre-bucks. And so what pre-buck is, it's an engineered lumber that goes up against here for your opening. Some people do it in foam. If we were in a colder climate, we would probably do that, but we're not going to worry about the little bit of thermal bridging that we're going to get with this. But it's an engineered lumber, kind of like your laminated beams. Don't have any warping or anything. So we build the casing that the window's going to sit in, put it in here, or in this case the door, put it in, and then strap it in place. We'll have a few holes where we can run the concrete vibrator in, so we can get good consolidation of the concrete underneath it. But this has to get cut. I've drawn right there roughly what it has to get cut to. We're going to set up the beep beep later, the transit. Aaron and Marshall get here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, so Saturday, Sunday, and Monday I will not work on the house at all. I'm going to focus on helping Aaron and getting the pool poured. Pours Monday at 1. So everything goes as it should, all that should be poured and setting up in the day Monday. Then I'll jump back on the house, and then Chris is going to backfill all of it. We're going to give it a couple weeks and backfill all this. We'll have to take all the bracing down, all the interior paneling down, backfill all that with clean rock, which is going to get quite ridiculous on that backside especially, and here, but is what it is. So we'll backfill all that, and then I'm going to work on the basement until the basement's ready to pour, and make a decision as we go along whether I want to pour the basement and go ahead and build the upper pool and pour it, or if I want to do those separate times. If I can get it done. This one is a much simpler pool than that. It's only 3 stacks high, so it's not even as tall as the little area we did there. It's only 3 stacks tall, and it's a rectangle. The most difficult part about this one is building up the sun shelf. I'm shooting for May 1st. I'm hoping before then, but I'm shooting for May 1st being the latest that we pour the basement and the upper pool. My steel guys are probably getting impatient. They've been wanting to get in here and set steel, but they can't set steel because the end of the steel beams rest on the walls. So that's something else I have to do before pour. So all the little finishing touches, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, are actually what's going to take probably the longest, because I have to come in here, figure out where the isolated footings go. Then we have to run a laser, and at the top of the wall, we have to cut out a pocket and form that in, and that's where, for example, roughly in here, there's columns that go across here, and then there's like a beam that runs back to that corner. So I have to get up there, cut that corner out to spec, either do a pre-buck with it or foam it in, etc. Get that secured so it's not going to move when we pour. And I need to set in the threaded rods, or that the steel beams will end up sitting on. So, and there's a lot of those. That's all the stuff that is just, like I said, a little busy work. It's going to take some time, and all the lintels that we'll get into, we haven't even shown you how those work. Lots of fun building an ICF house. We got another house to build after this for Quincy, and it will be a much simpler design, and you'll see how fast ICF can go when you don't have all these corners. And I'm taking my time, doing, of course, like I'm doing now. I could be stacking block, but I'm filming so I can share the experience and all that. So I'm gonna go get the tractor and bring rebar down here, because now it's time to do the vertical bars in the pool. Aaron wants them every 16 inches. So it's roughly 65, 70 straight bars. By the way, 3 inches of rain and never flooded, just that little pump. So feel good about that, especially since we're gonna do some cleanup on all that later. So that back wall, as I've discussed in other videos, is also the wall for the upper pool. So when I put the bar in, I'm gonna leave that another 52 inches higher than that. We'll just have to work around it, but that way to be one continuous piece all the way down. Then these will get cut, just a little bit before the top, about 2 inches before the top. So there you go. So we'll get all those in, and then Aaron's on the way. So tomorrow we'll do the drains in the bottom, the foam, and the flat work bar for down there. So we're ready. Nice thing is the pool is 20 by 20 in the bottom, and the bar is 20 feet long. So it's just a matter of laying it in there, the correct spacing, and then he's bringing his automatic rebar tire. So we're gonna definitely make use of that. We'll see how it goes. My guess right now is the thing that's going to take the longest between tomorrow and pouring concrete is those steps. Let's see if I'm right, or if it's something else that I have not even thought about. So view from down here, I was going to start on up there today, but then I thought, there is little stuff I could do before Aaron gets here, so let me go ahead and knock it out. So I talked to him, came up with what those were. I need to put scaffolding up here, railing. I need to do that. So lots of little stuff I knock out today and get it ready. And then, like I said, we'll jump back on the house build next week. If we get this done early, Aaron and Marshall are going to jump and help me with stacking some block. But if not, then is what it is. And I can't work on it Tuesday. I've got a dermatology appointment. So haven't talked a lot about it on the channel, but probably good to plug a to plug a PSA, you know, every once in a while is, you know, my father passed away from melanoma, so from skin cancer. It was really stupid because it was something that could have been found and taken care of early and wouldn't have been a problem. But, you know, people don't think about it. So, you know, I get checked every 6 months just because you're higher risk when it's in your family. But, you know, it's something you should do probably once a year. Look you over, bam, they find some stuff, keep an eye on it, or remove it, whatever, and then you don't have to worry about it, because it's real sucky to have something you could have done something about. And I mean, it's sucky regardless, but definitely that. So that's my PSA for today. Got a couple. You know what? I'm not even going to go into there. I don't have time to get stuck today. I'm just going to unload it right here into where the steps are going. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Now about to take care of one wall. That goes. Also, this actually only called for number 4, but I have no number 4 on the project. Everything is either 4 EQ, which is 3 in size and a 4 equivalent, or it's number 5, or it's the blue flat work bar. So, you know, this calls for, I could have done the 4 EQ, but decided, you know, I've got the 5. So let's just use that and see how it goes. Hey Siri, do I have any text? Oh, that hurt. All right, so there we go. So that's in there. I'll grab another ladder, get down in here, and then I can, like I said, set all those up on the inside, get my little cutoff wheel. I need to get my drill also and take these tarps off. And yeah. All right, so this is down in the pool. Hear the echo a little bit. All right, I've been getting a little bit done. So went ahead and pre-staged rebar. So as I put those in the back wall and cut off what was sticking up, that's what was sticking up. So that's going to be the rebar vertical pieces for this wall. This one, I'm not going to use the cut pieces because whatever that sticks out, which I guess is that much, that's what I want to stick out here. So I think it's going to end up being about a piece cut in half. We'll see as I stack through here, because those are all getting cut down because coping goes on there and it's done. But this one, the wall continues, so I want to keep rebar sticking up about as high as you see those right now. It's going to be a little more difficult to set the forms on this wall, but it'll make for a stronger wall, and I'd rather just do that. It's just a little bit more work. It's not that big a deal. So I went through and I did this one. You see I cut them. Curve's still in this wall till we adjust it, but cut those. But these I went ahead and leaned up because I can walk around on the platform and do it from this side instead of moving the ladder, which makes more sense. Been a crazy hectic day, of course. So I need to hurry up and finish putting these in. Ms. Beelig has been gone because, as I talked about in my last video, sister-in-law Liz had her surgery. It was supposed to take like 2 hours, and she'd be there overnight. So it took almost 6 hours, and she's there for a few days. So, but it was successful, and they did what they set out to do. So I'm sure we'll talk about it in a future episode when she's back, what's going on. But appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers on that. But yeah, so kind of just run around with the kids and just me, you know. So I've been getting done what I can get done. And all right, you know what, early in the morning and about this time are my two favorite times of the day. Pretty quiet. Got the bubblers going. Hopefully I've got this video out by now. I'm waiting on some feedback from Living Water Aeration. Sent him the rough draft. So, like I talked about before, want to extend the hose and put one of those more over in there. But overall, that seems to be doing pretty good. What is in the water over there? It's kind of a duck. Or is that a snake? Or is that a turtle? What is that? What in the hell was that? I think I'm gonna press my luck. I don't know what that was. So we're working on clearing the water up, the diffusers. We've got some stuff we've got to add to this that would adhere to things in the water, and a few other things to do. Yeah, I know, it's funny, right? The silt pond looks the way that we want the regular pond to look. Isn't that hilarious? This is perfect. It'll get there. So I cut this over here just one time with the bush hog. So it's too wet right now to run a tractor through here. All right, well, we got distracted, didn't we? Sorry. I better get here to the back and get something done before Aaron pulls up, because I slacked off a little bit yesterday. I know you're shocked. I am as well. So finish this little stuff up and, you know, see what else we got going on. Grass coming in pretty good again. I've got to go over it once it dries out. The pond is doing its thing. Who's this? Looks like somebody else is getting some stuff done. Let's just go check out what's going on. Oh, don't get run over. I probably need to put some gravel down on this. I might do that right now. See, this is the kind of neighbor you need right here. He just comes out and says, hey, I'm going to put a fence in. Oh, must be a tree root. What do you think? That turned out pretty good, huh? That one looks a little off. Oh, that one's not in yet.
Yeah, that one's not set.
I got you. I got you. So, man, you're doing a pretty fine job. I got to admit. What do you think?
Looking good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I love people knowing what they're doing.
It's another 5 minutes and we're done.
I think it's going to take 10. I got to be honest. This is a full board fence, and then we're going to tie in with the welded wire, is what we call it. I don't know. I'm sure other people have other names for it. And run along the back and all that with it. But there you go. All right, so we'll check back in on this a little later. All right, so I've got the transit set up. And the reason for that is that I set a reference point, which is over here, of what actual basement level is going to be after foam and concrete. So then I want to transfer this on here so I know what I've got to cut out. So the top of the floor is going to be here in red where I marked floor. A little mark here, that's where when I was just measuring with my tape measure and guessing, doing a guesstimate, that's where I came up with. So I was close, but you see why the transit's important. So I'll go along and mark all this under each opening, including where those windows are going over there. So I've got the floor mark. Then I'm going to bring the story pole over here, which if you missed that, I might even call it a storyboard, which is a board because it's on a 2x4. So am I wrong? But anyway, story pole, and I'll mark where that is. So we'll have quick measurements, but I want to kind of do it with the transit along here just to make sure we're the same all the way across, which we should be, or we have other problems. Then I'm going to go down to the next level, which is where the pool's going and see what the difference is between my elevation of this and my reference point. This all matters because the top of the pool with the coping and everything cannot be higher than, well, can't be higher than this pour. Well, it's not supposed to be, right? Let me clean y'all off. Gotten dirty. All right. Okay. Now, one of the other things we got to determine is this is where the concrete's coming to. Here's where we find out if all of that beat work that I did with Chris when we started this whole thing. That's where we see how close we were. See him coming in for a landing? Hi. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Get away from my fish. That's what I thought. Nope. Just gonna go down to the other corner. All right, no big deal. Yeah, this isn't sketchy. This is good though. I could actually read it back here. Just run it up, see what we got. Awesome, that's what we got. We got, Jeff needs a bigger stick. All right, so all right, so we got our mark. And let's see, each time I pull this out, it's 2 feet. That was 2, 4. So we are currently to the floor of the house from the top of the lower pool. We are dun, 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 dun. 6 feet 1 inch. Okay. 6 feet 1 inch. From the floor of the house to the top of the lower pool. All right, so let's talk about all the things that have to happen from this to the very top height. Well, we got 4.5 feet of water, so that's 54 inch. Then we've got the coping, that's 4 inch, which is also going to be whatever the same of the concrete height. The distance from the top of the from water height to the coping height. So code is maximum distance from the top of the deck to the water line shall not exceed 6 inches. So all that adds up to 60 inches. Then you've got the concrete and foam, 72 inches. So what we've got is we accounted for 0 gravel on the deck. That's what that comes down to. Because that's our 72 inches, or 73. So, no matter what, from here to the top of this wall will actually be shorter than the other ones because of the spillover. So from here to the top would be no more than 72 inches, minus the 4, which would be 68. There you go. How about have that come javelin down on me? Yeah. Yep. All right, so I'll keep this. So how to pull out the tape measure every time. All right. There you go. There we go. Ta-da. Still got to go around and wire tie all this up. All right, happy Easter. It's Easter Sunday. And yeah, we're gonna be working because we got a deadline to meet, and let's see what's going on. And oh, looky there. Oh, look at that. See? Put dirt here. We got a fence going. Woo. When's lunch? This is pretty typical job site. You got Marshall working, you got Aaron on the phone, and I've got a camera. Marshall's gotten the corners in. He put some extra stuff in to help straighten the walls over on the wall on this side. And Aaron's working kinda on the steps. So I'm gonna get in here and see what they need.